Well, here we are, dirt bagger and biker cowboy. Cheers. So Luke rode down today from Astoria down to the biker cowboy compound here outside of Tillamook, and he rode his Street Glide performance bagger down here. So I know a lot of us are getting into the performance bagger thing, and they're dope as fuck, and everybody likes them. And this guy kind of started from way back in the day. Well, I guess before I had a bagger, which isn't way back in the day, that's a few months ago, but he's been building this thing to ride the shit out of it, beat on it, and enjoy it. So I don't know, why don't you tell me a little bit about it, you beautiful son of a bitch?
Yeah, man, you should probably ask me questions, because a lot of small stuff, I like to focus on the details no matter what I'm working on. Trying to build a platform so I could put a legit motor together for this thing. Did some minor upgrades for brakes.
So what did you do? What did you do here on the front? I know these rotors are big. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see this, but these rotors are massive.
That's the Arlen Ness kit.
So they're Arlen Ness, what, 15-inch
15
rotors?
Inches, yeah. Bigger than the Ducati.
Yeah, they look super clean. You know, they got that kind of factory look about them. Of course, both sides match here, so just real clean. I noticed that Fly Eye 7-inch headlight from Moon's MC.
Yeah, Moon's
we both are big fans of that. They're bright as shit.
He took good care of me too. So for suspension, a few years back at one of the motorcycle trade shows, I think it was in Indy, I talked to one of the reps from Progressive, and he talked to me about their monotube front cartridge kit, if I'm saying that correctly. So there's a cartridge on one side and there's a spring on the other side. I've got 20 weight Bel-Ray in there with their kit, basically the way it came out of the box. Way better than stock, good enough that I really don't know how to improve it.
Well, that's pretty damn good. The stock, we all know, blows.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, especially on the brakes.
So what are you running in the rear here then?
What are those, 970s? The remote resis. I mean,
I'm gonna sneak you all a peek down in there, but you can see the remote reservoir over here. Those,
yeah, those are
high-end Progressives.
Those are 13s, so I think they're an inch longer than stock, which is why I got a little bit of a stance thing going on here. The stance alone made the bike handle better, just putting a little bit more weight towards the front, especially with a passenger. I do ride it aggressively with a passenger whenever I get a chance.
Tee-hee.
Only one passenger. Wink. What else do you want to know? Seats kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, seat. So we're running a Saddleman seat here.
Yep.
Got some custom stitching. Went with a red stitch, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the regular Saddleman step up. Is that right?
Yes.
It
it has gel inserts both front.
Oh,
and rear.
nice.
Yeah. So they're quite stiff, brand new. But you guys, you need to put down some fucking miles, man. Break them in. They do loosen up a little bit. Feel free to tell my old lady she doesn't like to be on the back of it still.
Yeah, well, I mean, this isn't a huge, comfy back seat. It's kind of small, so we're doing what we can do.
She prefers the stocker.
Done and done. John says, park in my garage. So
Let me give you the keys.
He's got Big Bear choppers, or Big Bear Customs, Big Bear Performance, excuse me. 2-in-1 exhaust, which is what I've been personally thinking about running. I didn't even realize that's what he had on here until we met up last week in Astoria.
Yeah.
Tell us about these controls. What'd you do down here? I know I modified mine a bunch.
Basically, I just lobbed off that stock foot pedal thing that was on there, and I took a peg mount from a different shifter off of a different bike and just mated it up there, and then got it powder coated. I don't know, I like it better. It's more clearance for my boot, and it's more intuitive. I'm originally a dirt bike rider, so
yeah, we both come from that kind of moto aspect. We'll get to the bars here in a minute, and that definitely is kind of moto inspired. This intake,
Boysen.
Tell us about that. So you kind of made this intake?
Well, the intake itself is a Boysen. I don't remember, it's like an X-Wing or something. It's a high flow, just like the rest of them. I don't think that any of them are necessarily a whole lot better than the rest. It comes with a K&N filter on it. and this was a Harley. What do they call that? It's like a classic or a vintage air cleaner cover.
Yeah, the kind of original, the round one.
Yep.
Yeah, the one that looks like a ham can, only round.
Yes. Yeah, and I chopped it. I was sick of looking at it.
So yeah, so he cut this down, cut this all out, built it, painted it. Now, what is this guy back here again? What brand? What do you got?
Alloy Art.
Alloy Art. That's a frame stabilizer or motor stabilizer.
Yes.
Now, we all know these things. Well, I just learned last Wednesday on a ride that these things do have some unique gyroscopic motion at high speeds and corners. If you guys are familiar with how the rear motor mount slash swing arm mount slash all that shit bolts up. I'm not an engineer, and I can tell you in 2 seconds that it's going to wobble and do weird shit.
Yeah.
And they've done that for years. So Dyna's had a wobble, Bagger's had a wobble. If you ride like most people do, it's not really a big deal.
Correct.
But once again, that takes us to, I hate to jump subjects here, but I can see we've got Michelin Commander 2 tires right down here, which are fantastic tires.
Yeah, they make a 3 now, I believe.
Yeah, they just came out with Commander 3s. We're kind of waiting on reviews. But once you go to a stickier compound tire and, you come from a dirt bike or sport bike, I'll just say you're a slightly more aggressive rider, you're definitely going to notice some unique feelings in the corners. It's odd. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like
you're talking when your front end and your rear end seem
do
to
that. That's exactly it. Right there is the perfect.
All right.
Yes, and the beer actually made it better than it was.
Alloy Art, pay attention. This is a legit thing. All this is doing is tying the frame to the transmission, which is bolted directly to the engine. The amount of stability, at least feeling and confidence that I got out of that, I don't remember what that cost, but it wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah, they're like under $200, I think, from Alloy or something like that, about $200.
They also make that they call it their like Ultra Cush or whatever. It's the insert.
Yes, for your cush drive on the rear end. Let's walk around there, guys. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm trying to give us all a visual aid on this.
It's internal, so you won't be able
It's kind of hard to see, but down under here, where that rear sprocket is, if you've never had one of these apart, instead of bolting down like a sprocket with a bunch of bolt holes and bolts going through, this is a big rubber cush drive that slides in, and then beside it is your sprocket that actually has like paddles sticking off it. So that's what kind of takes the vibration out of it, which is great if you ride like a grandpa. But once again, if you ride a little more aggressively, you want that to be a little tighter. So that's something I'm gonna be doing to my bike for sure in the future. So let's start up here. I guess let's start back up here. What kind of windshield? Why did you pick this windshield?
Clockworks. I've had, I don't know how many Clockworks shields on here. I bought the grandpa version when I first started.
Nice, you tall son of a bitch.
That little comfy zone was so far above my head, I decided to cut it down and go with a darker one. At 6'1", almost 6'2", this is plenty of shield. I think that's a 6.5.
Yeah, it looks like it probably.
8.5. I've ridden a bike with the 4.5, whatever it is.
This is kind of what it looks like from the cockpit, just kind of give you an idea. You can see these Clockworks windshields are a lot narrower and they really direct that airflow. I haven't run one, so I don't really know. I'm just running something different right now, but
those are actually Clockworks bars as well.
So yeah, okay, so that's what I was gonna ask next. So what mirrors are these? These mirrors are really cool. If you look, you got a stem and a through bolt, and then you got a set screw right here that adjusts your angle. So they're, I don't know, from like, I love machined metal and stuff that looks cool. So they're very, very kind of intricately machined, running some RSD covers and adjustable. Okay, they're performance machine.
So, yeah, so the grips, and I think Performance Machine actually does Roland Sands' parts for them.
Okay, probably.
I believe.
Very possibly, yeah.
In case I'm mistaken, I think he designs them and they pump them out for him. There's actually all of the Merc line is on this bike. So the Merc, you got your horn cover, you got your shifter.
Yeah, let's drop down here. We got a beautiful horn cover. Got the kind of same peg on the shifter, which I dig, those motor style pegs. Great looking outer primary cover, derby cover.
A Roland Sands part as well.
Okay, Roland Sands as well.
That actually came off my old Dyna. Before Dynas were cool, I was fucking rocking the shit out of one.
Well, I mean, that's why they're cool now, because you did it. Otherwise, they'd still suck
Check out my emblems.
Yeah, this is cool, actually. I'm going to go around in the light here, guys, because this is
not new.
One of my favorite. Okay, so tell me the story. So I noticed these right away because I'm an emblem whore.
Yeah.
So these are old school looking emblems, you know, it's just
they are from an FL model. Somebody's probably gonna step in and correct me. I don't remember what.
But an older FL.
Yeah, 40s, 50s.
40s or 50s. Yeah, I think that's super dope,
recall.
man.
Honestly, Clayton, I feel like an idiot.
Fuck no, I dig that stuff. I don't remember what I did to my bike yesterday.
I had them on my Dyna.
It's probably because we drink too many of these, but that's fine. But no, but no, I think those are super cool. That's like one of the first things I noticed. You know, rear view, of course, quick docking hardware. He's got the custom dynamics, tail lights, and blower
shout out to them.
light.
Huge shout out to them.
Yeah, everybody loves custom dynamics. I love custom dynamics.
Have you seen these?
Dirtbagger does. His stereo sounds really good. It's got nice clarity there. Yeah. I haven't checked out these turn signals, so we're gonna get down here where y'all can kind of see them. Woo. Are those custom dynamics as well?
Yeah, they are. They're plug and play. And they came with instructions. Basically, you leave your flashers on for a few minutes and the bike syncs itself up, so you don't really have any problems. Yeah, it's cool. These new Harleys are starting to kind of learn, you know, be able to learn and stuff. My pops just went through that with some fog lights on his Dyna Switchback. He swapped them from LEDs to halogens for some old school like yellow look. And that bike was hella pissed off. He's like, what's going on? And I was like, just ride it for a few days, it'll be cool. What kind of shift linkage are you rocking down here? That's a cool machine. Is it really? That thing looks dope. I need to change mine. I know these stock shift linkages are always a weak point. Got screen plug wires. You see my fully custom spacer? Yeah, look at that. Fully custom homemade spacer. Piece of brass. Mine looks like shit with splines sticking out. That's been on there for 18,000 miles, so feel free to hate. Yeah, I mean, hate all you want. So I guess we should go back up here to the dash. So, you know, kind of whenever we got a Clockworks windshield. This is a 15 or 14. What year is this? 14. 2014. So it's the first year of this vent right here. Yes. Which is fucking fantastic. My bike doesn't have one. It once. I've ridden a lot of bikes that have them. Yeah, they're fantastic. Got the performance machine grips, rolling sands. These levers are adjustable. I don't know if you guys can see this. Got a little set screw here on both sides so you can kind of set your distance. So it's real easy to two-finger it. Beautiful dash that matches. You know, we're kind of talking about all our levers. We're both being dirt bike guys, real, I guess, quirky about our levers better fit just damn right. Power Vision tuner here. So this is something I'm gonna add to my bike. You don't have to run this the whole time if you don't want to. You can tune it and take this off, but this Power Vision screen tells you a ton of information. You can choose. It really is amazing. So it can tell you, yeah, your speed. You can see you got exhaust temp, spark knock sensor, both cylinders, engine air temp. You've got voltage, all kind of stuff. So that's really cool. And these two, you know why I have voltage? Why do you have voltage? Because this bike is running a Shirai battery. Yes, tell us about that Shirai battery. We were just talking about this earlier too, so I'm glad you guys can catch up. 2014, I bought this bike. I had a couple of new KTM dirt bikes that had electric start, and I put Shirai batteries in those, and I was so impressed that I decided to buy, you're not gonna be able to see it, but we'll talk. We'll show you what's going on. I was so impressed that I decided to put one in the Harley, and it turns out it was like 15 or 16 pounds lighter. If you hear anybody talk shit about a Shirai battery, it's because they don't fully understand it. They're a lithium iron, not ion, lithium iron. You actually have to warm them up. So before I back this out of the garage, I'll turn the ignition on and just let it chill. Headlight on, the whole 9 yards. And when I go to kick it over, when I got my helmet on, we're good to go. Hey guys, I'm gonna interrupt this video. I know we're shooting a bike, but look at this dope ass Cobra? Motherfucking Cobra. Look at this beautiful car. That's beautiful. Man, anyways, all right, so back to the Shirai battery. Who expects that out the mook here in the middle of nowhere? But so the Shirai battery, from my perspective, we didn't pull all this cover and stuff, but I'm gonna take my finger and you can see it's much smaller. The normal battery takes this whole width here. This battery is maybe this big, and it does cut about 16 pounds out of your bike, something like that. Pounds. More importantly, it has more cranking amps after you let it warm up. With the Power Vision, I put a target tune on here. Kevin from Big Bear helped me out a little bit. When I ordered this exhaust from him, he didn't have a set that was set up with the correct O2 sensor bungs. Actually,
so these are wide bands up here.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to point out.
Bands. So the target tune, basically on the fly, I think it's like 3 or 4 times a second it makes adjustments, which is really good in the P&W because one day it's dry and hot, the next day it's cold and wet. The bikes don't really like it. We also go from sea level to altitude on a lot of rides.
And our air density out here is just retarded. Like
huge.
You look at drag racing back where either of us came from, and you know your air density changes a little as the night cools off. You know your air density here can be completely night or day in one day. If a system blows in off the ocean, you might be 90% humidity. If some dry air blows in off the ocean, you might be 12% humidity. You know, and temperature can change too. So our air density is all over the place out here.
It's true. It's true. Man, I don't know what else. From Big Bear, I also have their axle locks.
Oh yeah, we forgot that. Yep.
You don't need a chain, guys. Most of you don't need a fucking chain.
Yeah.
I promise you, it's expensive, it's messy, it's loud.
Maintenance sucks.
Maintenance does suck. I think it's rad. I'm a dirt bike guy, but
me too. I agree. It's cool. I just put those on my bike too, so we'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm running a
haven't moved.
Stock non-high output 103. This is a tuned high output 103, so it's already got a hotter cam in it.
For now,
and he rides hard. I've been practicing trying to wheelie mine, so I've probably got, I don't know, 6 solid wheelies. I haven't drugged the tailpipes quite yet, but you know, run them all the way through first gear under the belt. It feels underpowered, but it's me learning. So anyways, but yeah, those Big Bear lockdown plates are super affordable. Hit up Kevin at Big Bear, man. You can email him, call him, text him, whatever. He's cool as shit. He'll help you out.
I'll tell you what, if Kevin at Big Bear gives you shit, it's probably your fault.
Yeah, you probably deserve it.
Yeah, probably.
Because you shouldn't have a performance bagger, because you're dumb. Get back on your chopper and idle home, bro.
We can mention other brands, but we won't.
Yeah, we would never talk about a VTX chopper. I mean, the Honda Fury is currently the hottest chopper on the market. Anyways, we're going to get back to this motorcycle. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we've gone over a lot of it. These right here, we were talking about a little bit. So these vents are kind of like they come on the Ultras, but these are Kuryakin brand. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't like to admit it. What are they, Korean or something?